I mean, I guess we'll just do a quick introduction.
Yep.
I'm
Start.
Jacob. I mean, what's there to really say? I mean, so all in one, just something that we can do stuff, you know? I mean, I like working on cars. You like working on cars. Something that we can just explore, expand, kind of do our own thing.
Yep.
So, other than that, I've got a pretty cool 96 Honda Civic Del Sol that I've been working on. Here's an engine block. K-Series going to K-swap the Del Sol, so that'll be fun to watch.
And we'll show you guys all the cars at the end.
Other than that, that's really all we got. I mean, just kind of talk about random shit. It's not going to be car specific. Some of it will be, but not all of it. So.
I'd say the majority of it's probably going to be life and cars, but we're definitely going to touch up on topics that are just way out of the blue and stuff that we just enjoy talking about.
Well, because some of this is definitely not related.
But yeah, my name's Steven, 23, been friends with Jake since I was little, growing up. Just go to his house all the time and just spend months at a time at his house. So yeah, I enjoy also working on cars. I have a 2006 350Z Nissan, and yeah, I think
He's checking the oil on it, so he, I mean, we're not experienced at all. I'm 24, and I've just been working on cars since I was 19. Like, I got my first car at 18, so it was a Pontiac Grand Am GT.
I got my first car at 20 years old.
But, I don't know. This is just more of come hang with us, see average day, I guess.
Yeah.
Just average Joes.
Just talking and hanging out. That's kind of what we do. And I don't know, we're trying to figure it out just like you guys are. And we figured why not just record it and see where it goes.
Yeah.
Because
come along for the ride.
That's what everybody says. Just record it and see where it goes. So.
Okay, so I guess we'll just hop on in. First things first. I know cars. That was just first topic.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about your car, like inspiration, like end result of what you want, what you have done, or do you want me to go?
Let's start. I can start. So, Nissan 350Z, 2006. It is a Grand Touring Roadster. So,
and then that's the Rev Up model.
Yeah, so that's the Rev Up model. And the Grand Touring is the soft top and all that.
Okay,
so,
yeah.
Verbal, which statistically is the worst year and worst model you could buy of a 350Z.
Yeah.
Now, reasoning of buying that year. There's a main reason, affordability at the time. Visibility, like I was able to find that car at that time. But another reason is if I can take care of this 350Z, it doesn't matter what Nissan 350, 370.
What the issue could be.
I can solve it with a VQ or a V series engine, and
which, I mean, what are the most common issues? I know overheating, oil consumption,
oil like crazy. So the piston rings are gapped improperly.
Piston rings
from factory.
Let's just do a little.
Yeah, we can show you guys.
Pistons. So I don't have the rings. I threw them away.
That's awesome.
But
we're gonna talk about piston rings.
The thing is, you have. I mean, I'm pretty sure this is on most cars, but you got usually like 4 rings. You got the first compression ring, and then you got the second compression ring, and then you have here on the bottom, you got the oil one, and then you got like a small metal ring that goes on the bottom, and then like the oil squiggly one in the middle, and then another metal one on top, so it sandwiches it in.
And basically, so the way the ring is there's a gap so that it has play to be able to move inside there, and usually it's supposed to be gapped correctly to allow enough what's called blow by in that piston so that your compression isn't just blowing up the engine. Now that blow by inside the 350 is a big problem because the rings are gapped massively.
Okay, yeah, so it's allowing...
It allows too much oil inside of the combustion, just burning oil, just getting rid of it, like just, it's gasoline at this point.
And then, so I mean, obviously, like what you could do, catch can.
Yeah, you could add a catch
Yeah.
can. Some people, so it's a big thing. What people do is they buy an aftermarket oil pan. So they make larger oil pans for the 350 that basically are supposed to fix that problem by keeping more oil.
Are they like
in the
more, because like...
It basically turned it into a 3.5 liter to like
we have an oil pan,
3.7.
but with most traditional oil pans, they're super deep. So whenever you're driving or racing or doing any car cool stuff, you know, whenever you're doing turns, your oil gets pushed to one side, and then the pickup doesn't pick it up, and then air gets in, and no bueno.
Yep.
You know, all bad stuff. But I know that a lot of the performance ones, the baffle is shorter, so there's not that.
I would
deep
say
of
a
drop.
normal oil pan probably comes about right there.
Yeah.
The 350 oil pan's about half that. You know,
It's back here. It's like this big.
Yeah, it's a little flatter.
Yeah.
So people basically buy a normal size oil pan for the car just to kind of try to fix that blow by situation. And so I mean that's one of the most common reasons. Another reason is just bad sensors. Apparently during the time of making the 350s and the V series in the factories, they were tight on money, tight on employees, tight on quality control.
You can kind of tell from like the interior.
Yes.
too.
So
It's kinda
that
cheap.
was a very cheap interior, and that was their thing, was they wanted to make a reliable engine. They didn't care anything about the car.
Kia did the same thing for a while too. Like their interior was just plastic.
Oh yes. No, I owned a Sonata, which is a Kia right before this. What was I on about?
Talking about the car, the oils or the sensors.
Oh yeah, so the sensors go bad, and the problem is they tried to focus all their energy on making a reliable, good engine for a sports car for Nissan.
Which it is. I mean, that's one of the most notorious V6s.
It won I'd say a prize. I don't know how correct I am on that, but
Correct us.
there's few years in a row that apparently it was like top 10 list, best engines, reliable and all that. So it's a great engine. Now the problem with it is that was a time they were cheap. They were cheap on employees, they were cheap on everything. So there's a lot of electrical problems. They cheaped out on soldering, and so people will have sensors, important sensors, crankshaft sensors and camshaft sensors, and all these important sensors go out because of the bad soldering inside the system. And so those are two of the notorious reasons. Other than that, I could lay on that accelerator for 5 minutes straight and it's gonna live.
Well, because I mean, I feel like most of the issue isn't really the car; it's more of the owners that have the car. Either don't
100%.
have the experience and the knowledge to know
100%.
what they got to do.
Yep.
Because frequent oil changes are a necessity. Okay?
Necessity, and here, let me explain why. So, just like we were talking about, you have all these little holes. That's what oils your entire cylinder. Your entire cylinder wall is supposed.
There we go.
So if we look here, all your cylinders
Perfect.
are your pistons moving up and down, and basically, if you have no oil getting through, so basically, if you didn't do an oil change, your oil got so sluggish and so clumpy, it's going to clump up those tiny little holes. You're not going to be able to oil all these channels, cylinder, and that's exactly what happens. You're overheating a system that's not meant to take that much heat. It's meant to withstand heat, but it's not meant to take melting temperatures of metal.
Well, a lot of people don't know. They think that oil is just there to lubricate, but it also has another purpose. It also cooling. It cools
it's
it
one of the
down.
biggest coolants.
And people just think if you don't have oil, something will break or snap.
Yep.
A lot of the time, what will happen is when you don't have oil, you're melting and essentially welding the inside of your
Yeah,
block with
yeah.
your piston because it's getting
So
that hot. But talking about oil changes, this is a K24 A1. I had a CRV, got into an accident, so I just one a K swap to Del Sol. You know, the Del Sol, the SI comes with the D16 Y8, and that pushes about, I think it says like 120
So why
to the
K?
wheel.
Why K series? You got
So,
B series, D series, all
so-
these different series. In your opinion, what's the best series Honda engine, and why?
so if I had a choice, I wouldn't have went with the K series.
We're going B.
I would probably go B or
Okay, so that's all I hear.
H because like H. So I'm not too experienced with it, but I know that H. I think they just came in like the Preludes, and they got like True VTEC and like the GSR
Okay.
and all that. So they're like really a lot of people want them. But the B series, they're also top notch. Dual overhead cam. You know, they push I think about like 160 or 180, which this is the. So this isn't a K20 or anything, but this is a K24. It's not the one that everyone thinks that revs up to 9,000. That's the K20. But this one, it pushes, I think it's like 160 to stock.
That's
But
not bad.
it's got a lot of potential. The crank is forged. The block itself, I mean, even just stock, it can handle
Yep.
like 300. So, but with the oil issue, so I got this engine out and I got the pistons and everything. And all of the pistons where the oil holes are, they were all gunked up.
Hmm.
You can see here, I don't know if you guys can really see, but there's scarring on the piston skirt. And this is piston 4. If you look in the cylinder wall, it is kind of scratched up a little bit, but that's, I think I can manage that. But the reason why is because not frequent oil changes. That oil gets all hard and gunked up, and then it wasn't allowing oil to pass through. So do your oil changes, please.
Why?
So
Why the K?
so you know, there's a debate about it. A lot of people go B.
That's
It's
what all I
cheaper.
hear is people
It's-
going B series
it's
because
cheaper.
apparently it's like got all the records.
But now, okay, you can find a K20 block, K24 block for like $800. You can find a whole setup for probably $8,000 to $1,000. B series full kit, that's going to be every bit of 12 to 15. You know, because that's what everyone wants nowadays. But a lot of people are turned off towards the K series because I think it's got a reputation of just being expensive.
Mhm.
You know, but if you already have a K series, like I think it's kind of the same.
Yep.
You know, like you can keep a lot of the stock parts. I'm keeping the crank. I'm gonna probably try and keep the pistons and the rods. I'm gonna change the springs,
All in all, it's
rotors.
a Honda 4-cylinder.
So
So it's
but-
gonna run amazing.
yeah, so but also with the K series, they're the most newer engine, so you can find parts for those a lot easier than
Yep.
you can the B series.
I'm having the same issue.
And then with the D series.
They discontinued the VQ35DE, which I have in my car. I have the
Yeah.
rev up version, and
What do you know what the rev up difference is from like a stock one to the rev up model? Is it like 7,000 to 75, 73?
so your stock
Something
your
like
stock
that?
is 65, and the rev up is 7,500 RPM.
Oh, okay.
So
I mean that's a
it's very nice.
That's a
And it-
difference.
It might be 7,000, and the HR might be 7,500. I could be wrong there. Fact check me on that.
what
But
the HR
it's-
is the one with the dual intake, right?
It's HR
Yeah.
dual intake DE single.
That's the one that you
single
guys
driver
mostly
side
see all the
intake.
time, the one with the dual
Yeah.
intake.
Now, the dual intake was that design was platformed around the GTR.
Okay.
So the VR 38 DETT, which is the R35 engine,
Okay, yeah.
is
The big
basically
fat boy.
was basically the R37, which is basically the 350 HR. So they took the 350 HR, the VQ35 HR, and then they took that platform, upgraded it to a point, and made the VHR 37 or VHR 37, blah blah blah, whatever. That was for the 370, and then they made the VR 38D, and that was for the GTR.
He knows his Nissan stuff. I'm more behind it guy.
And so just that one intake and just that one little design difference created a whole different generation of cars.
Oh, yeah.
Like the DEs and a lot of different, you know, Maximas, and I think they even have it in Year of the Ultima.
Which, I mean, it's just kind of impressive because they made, because that V6 is basically the same that's in the Ultimas and whatnot. And it's impressive because that V6 had to be like a sedan engine
Exactly.
for a sedan, and they
And then
took
they threw
it
in a
and put it in a car that's like
coupe.
almost half the size. That's pretty impressive.
Yep. Exactly.
So,
And so
and it's known as one of the best V6s. I think what else is up there? I don't know if you're too common with other V6s, but I know the Pontiac, the Pontiac Grand Am V6s. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think they're the 3800. I think they're 38 or some shit, but the 3800, they're V6, and they're known as
I don't know too much about mine.
one of the best V6s because they take that, and I'm gonna go on a little tangent, but it's not just out of Pontiac, but they made the Bonneville, which is basically just a Grand Am or a Grand Prix, and with a V6, but it's supercharged. Stock.
Question.
Front wheel drive.
So I got a question. Would you rather turbocharged or supercharged?
So I've had
Because I would rather.
a car that had a supercharger. I had a little Saturn Ion red line. That thing was nice. But if we're gonna talk like supercharger's easier, you can slap on a supercharger a lot easier than a turbo.
Infinite time, infinite money. What are you getting?
A turbo. And that's just because you can push out more out of a turbo, and might get a little debate here, it's less stress on the engine.
I would also agree that
So-
it's more reliable than you have more moving parts in a supercharger than you do in a turbo.
But also it's pulling straight from the crank.
Exactly.
So it's
But you can see my point. There's a lot more moving parts
Oh,
in
yeah.
a supercharger than there is a turbo.
which
With that, anybody will agree. The
I-
more complicated you make something, the more.
oh yeah, the more you
tendency it
add
has
to it,
break.
yeah. But like I don't know. But yeah, no, it's fun. That little Saturn, that was definitely a really fun car.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
but so what? Because you're 350, it's stock right now, right? I mean, I know you have
So-
that one thing planned for
So
it.
complete. So my 350 right now is yes, complete stock. Definitely has a lot of I'd say aftermarket parts that have just been they're OEM parts that have been replaced on it
Yeah.
over the years.
But not like
But
performance.
everything's still
He's got that short throw shifter. though.
as factory intended. So yeah, as I bought it, complete factory stock,
Unmolested.
everything, 55,000 miles, 20-year-old car. I mean, I can't complain there. And after about a month of driving the car, my throwout bearing went out, and so I pulled the transmission out of the car and replaced the throwout bearing. And once I got that back in, I bought a short throw shifter because I lost a race.
Because I lost a race. What were you racing, do you know?
It was a Lexus. I don't know if they're IS or LS 300.
Yeah.
I think it's IS 300
Only Lexus I know is the
or the LS 300. I don't know what letter it is.
The LFA.
The LFA.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
fucking what is it? Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
V12 or some shit.
Yeah. No, I must say it's an I think it's called an IS 300. I don't think it's LS 300. I think it's IS.
I think that is a thing. Correct us.
Yes, please correct me.
We're not too knowledgeable.
I know about Nissan. He knows about Honda, and we know what cars do, and we know how engines kind of work. That's about it.
Yeah. If it's pre
But we
like
like it.
2012, we got it.
We like it. That's all that matters.
Uh-huh. I don't know if you're like too not knowledgeable, but like kind of been up to date with like what's been coming out lately. But the only thing that
GTA 6. That's
the,
it.
the only thing I want to talk about is just Wolverine, the Wolverine game, and then they're supposed to be coming out with the Blade video game.
I don't know any of that. All I know is
You haven't seen the Wolverine trailer,
GTA 6. Dog. GTA 6. Hey,
dude? Wolverine.
I don't know.
We haven't
much
gotten
about superheroes.
But it's Wolverine though. He's got claws. That's the only thing you need to know. They're gonna explain it in the video game. Well, because with Wolverine, because like I can just go on and on.
I could see it being cool because all Spider-Man games were awesome.
Yeah, and it's made by the same people.
Yeah.
So, but like, we never got a good Wolverine. Just like we never got a good Superman game.
What if they made a Deadpool game?
They did make it that way,
They?
and it was fucking phenomenal.
Was it?
Yeah, it was
I did not know
on
that.
PS4. Dude, it's amazing.
I'm gonna have to check that
He
out.
breaks the fourth wall.
Oh wow,
Yeah, dude, no, it's so good.
I think it's cool that they've left that ability to Deadpool.
Oh yeah.
To be
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh yeah, I can just break the fourth wall. What fourth wall? This one.
Which is
have
you
that
seen-
fourth wall?
like, have you seen the movie?
Yeah.
The
And he'll just talk to the
Dude,
camera?
I fucking loved it whenever Ryan Reynolds was he was talking to like the handsome Deadpool or whatever the fuck, and he was making jokes about like other movies that Ryan Reynolds was in, and the handsome one was like, oh, I can make subtle nods. The marriage or something.
Yeah.
He literally just said like the movie, and no, it's whenever he died and he got his golden eagles. Like it's. Oh, you know what? A lot of people had an issue with Wolverine in that movie.
Really? Why?
Yeah. So
I thought they depicted Wolverine perfectly.
So it was a lot of it was the CG behind it. I don't know if you remember, but it was like whenever he put his mask on, because it was CG, and a lot of people had an issue with that because it looked pretty bad. And there was a scene where, like, they fight all the Deadpools, or they're about to fight all the Deadpools, but they jump out of the bus, and then Deadpool like he falls on the ground and gets up, and Wolverine's standing there, and he's like going like this, and everyone's like, "Oh, it looks like a video game character."
Oh, is it like the way he's like idling?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but people had an issue with the CG. I absolutely loved when it showed like all the multiverses of Wolverine, and you got to see like the other comic adaptations of like him being held up on the X, and then the patches with the fucking eye patch, and then you see like I loved the comic accurate Deadpool or the comic accurate Wolverine, because you know how tall he is, right?
He's like short.
Correct me. I think he's like 5'2". Like he's small.
All I know is when he got on all fours and started booking at Deadpool,
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like, oh!
But dude, when you see the comic accurate Wolverine and he's like on the stool and then he hops down and he's like this fucking tall to like Deadpool, I loved it. I loved it. And then also there was like a little nod where it showed like buff Wolverine. I don't know if you remember that, but that was Henry Cavill. That's the guy that plays Superman. So, because a lot of people were like, oh, he would make a good Wolverine. Just like Daniel Radcliffe, the guy, Harry Potter. People said that he would make a good Wolverine. Because there's a movie he came out with. I haven't seen it, but he's like in his underwear. And he's like super hairy, and he's like jacked, and he's like, you see like he's flexing his whole body.
I've never heard of it. Sounds
Yeah.
like some Tarzan or Jungle Book.
If you know it, throw it in.
Yep, please.
I don't know what it's called, but I've seen clips of it. But people saw that and they're like, Wolverine. So everyone thought that one of the Wolverine variants was going to be, Daniel Radcliffe as it, but it was Henry Cavill. And it was just so funny because he's like, it was just funny. So I lost my shit.
Yeah.
I absolutely lost my shit. So-
I lost my shit with Interstellar.
Oh, Interstellar, yeah, which actually, I've never seen the movie. So
Yeah. Well,
you showed it to me.
yeah, I just recently showed it to you.
I do like Matthew McConaughey.
I haven't
There's-
really seen too many movies of him, but he's not a bad actor. He's got some
The
solid.
only other movie that I can really like mention, blanking on the name. It's got Bill Paxton in it. That's the guy from Aliens. But It's cool. It's dad supposedly like sees demons and he goes and like kills these demons, and it follows like the kids because like something happens to the dad and then the kids grow up and whatnot. It follows the kids and you find out that like the dad wasn't crazy, that he was actually like being seen by angels and was told to like, you have to kill this person because they're a demon and blah blah blah, and only he could see them, and one of the kids got like that power too in a way, and there's a huge twist at the end with the brothers, and it's pretty good. It's Matthew McConaughey.
What's the movie called?
I totally forgot.
Sounds interesting. Yeah, no.
No, it's so good. It's
I
kind of
don't-
like a religious movie,
I
but
think
not
all I
really.
really know Matthew McConaughey is probably from like
Days and
maybe
Confused.
Boy. Yep.
All
Okay.
right,
Okay.
all
All right.
The good thing about high school girls.
is we get older and they stay the same age.
Whoa!
What a good movie.
Yeah.
But no, I think more of like a voice actor. I think I've seen like a cartoon or two where maybe he's been a voice actor for something.
He might have. I
and
know
could be
that
totally wrong. I don't know.
just seeing more of his interviews and whatnot, like seeing like him as a person, I like him a lot more.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
he's very humble.
Seems like an interesting person
Yeah.
to hang out with. But yeah, dude, Interstellar fucking blew my mind, man. It wasn't even like.
Fuck Matt Damon. I'm
Oh
sorry.
my gosh! Like he can stay his ass
He's
in
got
the Martian.
post.
He can stay in the Martian.
Yeah,
he can
no.
stay his ass on Mars.
What a
He
little baby.
He don't belong intergalactically.
So
If you guys haven't seen the movie, I highly recommend it. It's
we can try and talk about it spoiler free, but it's been out for
It's-
so long. If you guys haven't
honestly,
seen it now,
it's
that's
a
your
story. It's a love story about a father and a father who doesn't know he's about to lose the entire life of his daughter. Lose the opportunity to experience the entire life of his daughter. As you saw in it, it's a big space movie. Basically, if you know,
fault. Directed by Christopher Nolan. Want to throw
Yep.
that out?
Yep.
One of the
Amazing.
greats.
Amazing movie.
So I like.
Like, he has so many good movies.
I don't think he made this movie that I'm thinking about, but also Inception. That's a good movie.
Yep. There's a scene in
I watched
Inception.
Tenet and I couldn't. I mean, if you haven't seen Tenet, it's
There's a scene in Inception where they're under a bridge, okay, and all the mirrors
yeah.
open. So that was one of the most groundbreaking
Friggin'
like
road.
recordings that cinema has done, because that was at a time that like they had good
Well, I think it
technology,
came out in like 2012.
but it
or
wasn't the
2016.
best technology like we
Oh,
have
no.
nowadays. Now they recorded that whole scene, and you don't see a single camera. You're looking in a mirror,
Yeah.
directly with a mirror, and you don't see a camera.
Well,
and
they-
that was just
Yeah.
groundbreaking back then.
Well, a lot of movies, like I can't think any off the top of my head, but I remember watching. They're on YouTube. They're called like Digital Corridor or something, and they would review stuff like that. And that was one of their biggest pet peeves, was like the transitions between like the cameras and then being in front of a mirror. But I don't know. I don't understand editing.
'Cause,
I
like,
don't
you can
understand any of that stuff.
Look at it at a point like even from like the Invisible Man, the movie Invisible Man. I don't know if you've ever seen that. It's the guy who
With Kevin Bacon, where he gets injected
And then he turns
becomes
invisible.
invisible and crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, Kevin Bacon.
There's
Yeah.
a point where he looks in a mirror, and that was groundbreaking for that movie. They were like, "Oh my gosh,
I mean,
look at what we can do with technology.
Yeah.
We're gonna make a movie about a guy who turns invisible,
Which,
and the way
that
you
sounds
see him
like
is
you have to be such a good actor to not
Play
be
invisible.
to not be in the movie the whole time.
And that's why I really like Deadpool and Spider-Man, is because these guys are suited up. Now Spider-Man has a little leeway with him being a younger kid, and
Yeah.
the mask off sometimes. But take it as like Deadpool. Now Ryan Reynolds makes a movie beforehand, even before it becomes Deadpool. But just the actual depiction of you have to be an amazing actor to turn a character that you can't see the face into a beloved
And then add all the emotions.
Yes.
And
Oh my gosh.
which Ryan Reynolds is probably one of the best people that could have done that.
Oh,
So.
I don't think they could replace.
Which
Who's your favorite actor?
just actor in general.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's really hard because like if we're going like favorite actor of like in my like favorite movies kind of thing, I'd have to probably go with like Jim Carrey because I feel like Jim Carrey is one of those people. He can do so much.
Depiction of an actor.
Yeah, well, because he's got such a range. He's done it's like the internal spotlight of the mind or something. It's a drama. Truman Show. That's a drama, which that's amazing. He can do comedy, Liar Liar, Dumb and Dumber.
Yep.
But he's one of those like Will Ferrell. I don't think he can hit all those notes. Yes, man. Yeah. But I don't think he can hit all those notes in that range like Jim can.
Oh no, Ryan Reynolds.
So
is
Adam
definitely not my
Sandler
favorite.
can't. I mean, he's got some good movies. Click is a good one. That one scene where he's at the end and he's dying, that always made me tear up. But it'd probably have to be Jim Carrey.
My favorite actor probably has to be Shia LaBeouf.
So he's pretty good.
I just like
He's
him because
he's
the
amazing
the
in
movies I can
Transformers.
watch. You know, it makes a lot of the scenes that
Andrew
he
Garfield.
plays in they feel relatable. Whether they are relatable or not, they feel relatable. And the way he's able to like bring emotion to a movie, like watching Fury and you're watching this war movie,
Yeah.
and realistically it's this guy and you're just like, oh wow, he's kind of like, you know, a dickhead, kind of like just minding his own. But now he's really versed into this guy's world, trying to teach him about Jesus and stuff, and he's trying
I haven't
to
seen
back
that.
him up. Great movie. Or like Transformers.
Which
or,
I loved him in Oh my god, he was so good in that
my
movie.
favorite Shia
Holes.
LaBeouf movies. Hole's amazing. What's it called? Surf's Up.
Disturbia.
Surf's Up.
Yeah, Surf's Up.
All time favorite Shia
My name's
LaBeouf
Cody.
movie.
Just let me be me.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god.
Cody this, Cody that. Cody, why can't Cody be me?
Yeah.
Let me be me.
Yeah.
And it's like,
It's
boom, all that song. I can't sing it.
Disturbia. Like that's a good one where he's got like a psycho neighbor.
Mhm.
That's a
Yep.
good one.
Yep.
Well, like also, I don't know, dude. Have you seen Hacksaw Ridge? I'm not a big
Yes.
war person.
Yes.
Oh my god, dude! Andrew Garfield
Yes.
killed that.
That
So
just
good.
give me one more, just one more. Now that's based off of a true story, and that's what's amazing is
I love the one more. Let me do one more.
that is an absolute depiction of the indomitable human spirit. We will continue to keep going no matter what. And if I were to put that into like a kind of a topic we could talk about, what is his name? He wasn't the strongest, but he had the potential to be. That was a problem with everybody. Like, this person's stronger. I don't even know what I'm really talking about.
Is it about Hacksaw?
No, it's a completely different topic. I don't even know if it's a superhero or if it's. It could be more of an anime. I think it's anime. Hunter x Hunter. So I know you haven't watched it. But basically the kid becomes. What I would. I will carry this to the grave. I believe this adult version of this kid is the strongest being in the entire anime for one reason. He was willing to do whatever it took and use as much power as it took to win that battle. So in his mind, I don't care what happens to me, I'm going to harness absolutely everything to win this fight. So it doesn't matter who he's going to fight. He could fight the strongest person in the world.
Yeah.
He's going to do whatever he has to do to win that fight. And that's like, I'm like, yeah, he's the main character, but with that thinking, he's the most powerful one there is.
Have you seen Invincible? Not trying to like
No.
hop, but it's funny because Invincible, they're essentially like all Supermans. Okay, so, but there's a thing called power scaling, and that's where, and especially in anime, it happens all the time. You have a strong character just doing like ungodful, power, just so strong, and then the next episode, they just get booted, slapped. And then it's like, where did that power go? And it's called power scaling. It's where they pick and choose on like, when they want them to be like super strong.
So you
And
can't just be
so-
strong all the time.
yeah, well, because there's a lot of anime like because I don't watch too much anime.
Either do I.
Well, like,
I've only watched Hunter x Hunter. Disclaim that.
well, like, okay, like in Invincible, like you got like a regular human that can take on like a suit, and then the next episode, they just get like they die.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, what happened? Like, what, So, but that's an issue with anime and TV
Yeah, because you
and
can never
whatnot.
say who's the strongest.
Yeah,
because-
but also you can't have someone at that top level of time because then where's the climax, like
Yep.
so like with One Punch Man, there's really no climax because he just one punches everyone. So there's no, emotional scene to it.
Yeah, I see that.
But with Invincible, it's funny because the creator, I forgot what his name is. I think it's like Robert Kirkman or something. He specifically talked about because people were talking about like, oh, why can Invincible do this one episode and then he gets beat up the next episode? And he explained it. A lot of people don't explain their power scaling, but he said it's whoever wants it more at that time, which that makes perfect
Oh,
sense
yeah.
for me.
Oh yeah.
Because a lot of times they just don't explain it. They're just like Goku, he can just do stuff and get, he's like a god at moments, but then gets beat up by like one of the weakest people,
It's
like Rock Lee or
basically
whatever.
saying,
the fuck.
I need this amount of power to win this fight.
So-
Even if I've never used it, I need it.
But it's just cool
Boom,
how
here I
he's
got
like, oh, you have like no, like there's not like anyone can beat anyone.
Yeah.
Essentially, it's just who wants it
Who wants it
more at that moment. And it's
And-
like I love that because that's actual like I can see that.
That's
like,
how I saw Gon is basically everybody was like, oh, this person's stronger, this person's stronger.
Yeah.
I'm like, this kid was literally like,
So I think that's cool because he's the only one that actually gave an answer of like why there is power scaling.
Yep.
When all the other creators just kind of ignore it. So, but Invincible is amazing. Finish The Boys.
I've never watched The Boys.
It's good. I mean, definitely. I don't know. Season 1 is just so hard to beat because you start with they're just all humans, and they're having to battle these suits, and it's scary, and but it's scary, and they could die, But whenever it progresses, the danger kind of goes away, so it kind of loses what it was, So I'm not too big a fan of that.
I don't really know anything about The Boys. I'd say for TV shows, I definitely enjoy. I think one of the best written TV shows nowadays released is honestly The Blacklist. I haven't watched it in a while, but for fictional characters, that is the most powerful human with no superpowers or anything. Human just with economical power. That is the best fictional character for them. He owns Dexter.
Yeah.
Dexter works
Dude,
for
Dexter's
him. And so it's like, people could be like, oh, this person, oh, John Wick. John Wick works for him. And it's like, oh, no, everybody who you think is in a movie of power
Yeah.
works for Reddington. And it's like,
Which-
that is so cool.
I don't know. One of my favorite shows, I find myself going back to Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad
Like,
is so good.
I'll watch that every now
So
and then. It's
One of
every
my
character is a banger.
One of my favorite scenes is, and I relate to it because, you know, growing up, I've been told I can't do something, and I do it, and then, you know, I get the satisfaction of looking in their face and being like, I usually don't say anything, but in my head, I'm like, I just proved you wrong.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite scenes is when Jesse buys his parents' house. They're
Oh,
selling it.
yeah.
And he walks up with the key,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Jesse, you can't be here. The property owners are going to be here any minute to look at the house." And he's like, "Yeah, I bought it." Dude, what?
There's just like, I personally like how Walter White, he just progressively gets worse.
Progressively.
Because he starts off as just like a chemist teacher.
Yeah,
And he's just trying to get by.
And then he hears the story about Hank and the drug bust, and he's like, yeah, I can make a little extra cash for my family. And then he starts doing it, and he's like, we need more,
dude.
Jesse, we need to cook it. It takes over.
I think
if you haven't seen Breaking Bad, I'm sorry. There's going to be so many spoilers here because it's been out for what? How many years?
I think it came out in like 2012.
Yeah,
so it's been out.
It's been out for a long time. Please go watch it if you have not seen it.
I haven't seen El Camino.
Sorry for any spoilers that you hear.
So which
El Camino is amazing.
Yeah,
too.
well, because I know that's after Jesse gets out.
Yeah.
So but dude, it's just every character is a banger, but like Walter though, like I think. Because the first time he broke, I think that was whenever Jesse was doing like some drug transaction. He was going to get robbed or beat up or mugged or something. And Walter drives the car and hits the fucking drug dealers and like runs them over and gets out of the car and takes out a gun and shoots one of them.
So I don't remember.
And I think that was the first time that he like actually killed someone, because everyone else he kind of like assigned it. You know, he never really pulled the trigger.
Now, I do remember the first time they met. Do you remember how that happened?
How
Hank was taking Walter out for...
let me
show you around.
And you see him leaving the room.
The girl falls off the roof.
Yeah.
Chili Pete.
Dude, yeah, Skinny Pete is amazing. I love... dude, it's just so good. It's... Bryan Cranston,
amazing actor.
Oh my, Malcolm in the Middle, which I hear they're doing a reboot. I don't know if you heard about that.
Are they using the same actor?
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
The only person is Dewey, so
That's
like a younger kid, but his stand-in, his replacement, looks just like him.
Okay, that's fine. Because that's what messes me up. Like, if you look at what is it that they're about to reboot? They might have already started to reboot it, but all of the cast is everybody completely different. Never mind. Scratch that. I was thinking about something, and it ended up completely being false. I was thinking when before they started up the new TV series Tales from the 90s of Stranger Things, which is like a cartoon.
Oh yeah.
There was rumors going around saying that they were going to create a new Stranger Things, but it's going to be of none of the actors are going to be in it. And so when I heard that, I was like, that's horrible, because like that's what it feels like movies are doing nowadays is let's take something you guys know and completely change it.
Yeah, well, because I mean, even Marvel, they've been doing the like they're filtering out all the old stuff to prepare for the new stuff. You know, like the Avengers, they're getting rid of the old Avengers to make the new Avengers.
Yeah,
Cap, Iron Man, they're not going to be in it, but you're going to have their counterparts being in it, like Bucky,
I mean, don't get me wrong,
or Sam.
And 40 years when the new Avengers movie comes out and some superhero is walking down a hallway and he walks past this little painting on the wall that says in memory of Captain America.
Something.
Real fans are gonna go insane. But yeah, no, and that's honestly how you keep a audience.
Because TV show wise, one of the best shows I think I've seen in a fat minute is, and it's Welcome to Derry.
Welcome to Derry, good.
Oh my god, dude. Because I always loved the original It movies, and I wanted to get the book, so I hoped that it would explain a little bit more about the backstory about it. but I never did. But oh my god,
There, you
dude!
explained it a lot.
You see, but like you see on how strong he actually is, and like okay, this can jump us into one of the other topics. Amazing because he is such a sentient being.
Cosmic turtle.
Yes, such a cosmic being. But the thing is, he doesn't see time as we do.
Yes.
He doesn't see it as linear. That's what it is. It's all at once. He can past, present, future, all at once, right? So time is basically not a thing for him. So whenever he sees, I think her name was Margaret or something. She's got the eye patch. He says something to her, shows her a missing person of a kid named Richie, because this is set, I think, like 40 years before the movie. So it's Richie's mom. You find out he's talking to Richie's mom whenever she was like around the kid's age, and shows her the picture of like a missing son. And was like, look, and she's like, oh, what's that? And then he basically tells her like, oh, this is your son to be. And basically, yeah. So time, right?
Time.
Crazy, and that kind of blew my mind. So talking about that, I mean, it kind of goes with like also the Interstellar movie too. You got some stuff that you want to talk about black holes and time and headaches.
Time is interesting because you mentioned saying that
It's cool.
it does not live in a realm where time is linear.
He doesn't. He
And
lives outside.
neither do we. That's what's awesome. Time,
but
we
to
can
explain what it is, isn't that basically living past, present, future, but like just in that order?
Yes. So time. The reason why I say time is not linear is because me and you are experiencing two different amounts of time.
Okay.
And by saying that is it takes. Now we are both experiencing the same amount of present because it's taking roughly the same amount of time for the light of that wall to reach our retinas
Yeah.
and then process through our brains and all that.
At the speed of light.
Yeah,
That's
yes, the speed of light. As fast as that travels to our eyes, we experience it as the presence. So you could almost look at it as everywhere on Earth is linear. Everything beyond Earth would not be linear because even our satellites in space, which are just orbiting our planet,
Yeah.
use a completely different time clock advantage to us. I don't know if they speed it up or slow it down, and you know, correct me guys if I'm wrong, and what some of these things that I'm about to talk about, a lot of these are theories. I mean, gravity itself is a theory. So everything I'm about to say
It is, but
is basically theoretical to a point. It's theoretical because we can't grab it, but they've been able to prove it through mathematics and physics and be like, this is the only way.
Yeah.
But they can't be like, we can't just grab it for you and show you though.
But it might change later on.
That might change later
So,
on. Well, the cool thing is time. Me and you are experiencing two different times, and if the satellite was farther away,
which I think Neil deGrasse Tyson said something along those lines.
Explains it. Now, Neil deGrasse Tyson is talking, and that's that little clip you're talking about. He's explaining the scene in Interstellar.
Okay.
Where if they walk onto that planet, if they're on that planet, little spoiler alert, so if you want to skip ahead a minute or so,
Yeah.
if you're on the planet for an hour, that is the equivalence
Wasn't it 7 years?
of 7 years
Yeah.
out on Earth. And that's just because if Earth is here and this is our solar system, they are literally all the way over here. So they're orbiting, way farther than us because the galaxy orbits.
Because even in the movie, I think Matt Damon said the day it was like 60 hours was like a full day.
Oh, 63 hours.
It's like a full day, and
on
then
that
63
planet.
hours is a full
63 hours.
night.
Yep.
So it's like 120 hours is like a full day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's time is completely different, right? Now, Einstein was able to prove this with saying time is relative.
Don't know what that means.
Sure,
I've
you've
heard
heard
it. Yeah, 100%.
That's exactly that stance that the satellites we have in space operate at a different time because they use different gravity and they're experiencing a different time, and it takes them longer for light to reach their area because they're so far away.
Well, because the stars that we look at, they could be dead.
Yes.
Like, they could be blown up.
So many of them.
Because it takes, we don't even know how long for the light to get here.
Exactly.
So,
Thousands of years.
Yeah.
And so, if we kind of look at it like that, with black holes, Einstein's theory about a black hole was
it sucks.
Yes and no. All it does is it's a gravitational force so strong that it warps time and space around it. So, I know you don't understand that, and it's hard for anybody to
I can understand the
to
idea of it
visualize.
because it's science, so I can be like, oh, okay. But, like, I don't understand the science behind it.
Visually, it's a magnet dropped in a thing of nuts and bolts. That is what a black hole is.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's just
But it only has so so far of an area that it can't stop.
and that's called the event horizon.
Okay.
Is basically, and now the event horizon is a lot bigger than you think. We currently are probably inside an event
Which
horizon.
we
to a
did see
black
that
hole.
in Interstellar, right?
Or
no? Well, they talked about it. They did talk about
so
entering.
they talk about it, but the way they picture it is not identically accurate.
Okay.
An event horizon, if you had a black hole this big, your event horizon is yay big, right? So if you pass this point, the gravity is so strong you couldn't move out. The event horizon inside the black hole is, even if you were to travel at near the speed of 99.999% the speed of light, you still would not be able to exit.
Yeah,
that
because the
event
black
horizon.
hole sucks in even light. Even light can't escape it.
Exactly.
So, but also to kind of just piggyback off of that real quick, because don't know what I'm talking about, but a particle accelerator. That's where they take two atoms and they spin them at the speed of light and have them collide.
99.999%.
Isn't that to make a black hole? Or what's that?
So the reason they are doing that is because they want to see what exactly. So how the creation.
Because in superhero Wayman in the Flash, he does the particle, and even in the TV show, he does a particle accelerator to make like a wormhole or a black hole. So is that the same mechanic?
We don't think so.
Or is that the Big Bang?
So the Big Bang is known as the beginning, but realistically, they've been able to scientifically find before beginning.
Yeah.
Which is called the expansion.
Okay.
And that was where the universe was just expanding to a point, and then out of nowhere, it had this event. Let's call it an event where everything just expanded exponentially fast until it got to the point to today where it's kind of slowing down, and you still have expansions.
You're talking
here and
about
there.
space.
Yes,
Okay.
space. And basically, when the Big Bang happened, you had all these particles of neurons, electrons, and correct me if I'm wrong, but like basically atoms, really particles, and things so small we couldn't even see.
Oh yeah.
Crashing in together at unbelievable speeds, creating unbelievable temperatures, and that's what created all the materials and biology and stuff. And so that's what they're trying to study with particle accelerators is when you crash something, a particle so
At
small
that
together
fast.
at that fast,
And that speed.
they're just trying to learn it. They're not trying to recreate a Big Bang. They're not trying to recreate a black hole because at the beginning, this was a mass amount and a huge amount. All they're doing is taking one particle, smashing.
Well,
them
what
together.
happens in that instance?
They say it's on a quantum level that they're recording. They're recording events that are happening on a quantum level. So you might open up a black hole on a quantum level that wouldn't even be able to move a paperclip.
Which there's a movie, Ant-Man and the Wasp, and it's Quantum Mania.
Yep.
And they shrink down so small that they're in the quantum realm, and whenever Thanos does the snap and kills half the population, they're not affected because they're in essentially
A different dimension.
universe.
A different
different dimension, whatever. So, yeah.
And,
So I know about that because
quantum,
they shrank so small.
quantum physics is still not solved till today. They are still trying to solve quantum physics because it's from a different dimension. Now, here's my reasoning. I think I'm gonna say some wild stuff. Like I said,
Some hot takes.
everything is theoretical about space. So whatever you say, as long as it has some
Whatever
merit
you
and
say goes.
physical proof behind it, is
You don't even need physical proof.
well, not
for
proof,
that.
but you need physics to work with it.
Yeah.
You know, I can't just be like, you know, this ball was 1,000 degrees. Why was it 1,000 degrees? Because, you know, I need to have a way to explain
Yeah.
these particles, you know, smash. All right. Honestly, I think Einstein has a lot of theories. Most of his theories are either unfinished or completely wrong.
Because isn't he an object in motion state, or
No, that's Newton.
that's new?
So
So,
that's-
what is Einstein's?
Einstein was relativity
Theories,
and
okay.
gravity. Einstein was the person to say
So Isaac Newton wasn't gravity? I thought he was gravity.
Isaac Newton discovered gravity.
Oh, okay.
Einstein was the one who wanted
Theorized
to learn gravity and figure out what gravity is.
Okay.
And even he couldn't figure out what gravity is. He spent his whole life throwing away his life. Basically, he thinks a black hole warps time and space, and if you were to enter a black hole, it would send you to the end of time. But here's kind of what I believe, and apparently a lot of theorists today, or whatever they're called, physicists.
Yeah, the guys
A
with
lot
the
of-
lab coats.
Yeah, a lot of physicists today believe that a black hole does end time, but it sends you to a point to where before time was. So before the Big Bang happened, that universe that's just
That nothingness.
that nothingness, and then this little Big Bang happened inside that nothingness. People believe, and I also believe, that a black hole would take you to that nothingness. Now, it's not going to take your personal being to it. It's going to separate you into protons, neutrons, and all these little particles of nothing. And
Is that what you think kind of happened to Matthew McConaughey in Interstellar? Whenever he went
I
to the black hole?
do believe, and I believe exactly what Matt Damon said was the last thing you see is your
when
children
die-
before
yeah.
you die.
Yeah.
All you see in the last scene is, you know, he goes through this black hole, he sees this tesseract closes on him, screen goes black, and then it's him floating in space by Saturn, and then it cuts to a scene where he's in this big, giant space
like
station, and then it
4D.
skips to a scene where he's talking to his daughter, and then it's the end of the movie. That's it.
Well, yeah, but I mean, in that Tesseract realm that he was in,
I think the Tesseract was true. I think as soon as the Tesseract closed in on him, basically where he was squashed down to that infinite point, which that's where scientists.
because I know that is
It
the
messes
theory that if you go in a black hole, you're essentially just going to be squished
Spaghettified. It's
yeah,
called spaghettification.
and just stretched, basically.
Yeah, it's called spaghettification,
So-
where it would just rip you apart atom from atom. It would just dismantle you atom from atom. And that's
I think that's the quickest death.
that's awesome. That is so cool.
Because like Dr. Manhattan.
Because, like, if I pull on you right now, and if I had enough strength to really do some damage, and I pull off a limb, it's not going to pull off in a way where it's atom to atom.
No.
All your atoms are still going to stay together.
Yeah.
This is completely rippling away.
So
it's so hard to really
Does that,
imagine.
well, so, okay, is this Einstein's theory or Isaac Newton's theory where it's like you can't destroy matter
Ooh, I do not know.
because did you hear about one of those?
Yeah, I know,
like, you
I know,
can't
I know
just-
where you're going. About.
Yeah, so even in that situation,
you
when you're
can't
literally
create or destroy matter.
yeah. So, but in that situation, if you're literally torn down atom from atom, does that theory still take into account? Like you still, like even though you take the atom, is there still carbon dust of us? You know what I mean?
don't think so. And
Totally
the
erased.
reason why I say also I don't think so is because growing up, they only taught us, what, 3 or 4 states of matter? I don't give me a second.
Right.
Liquid,
Yeah.
3. Liquid, solid, gas. Those are your 3 states of matter. That's it. Well, recently, Microsoft just invented a 4th state of matter. I don't know if you know about this.
No.
But they created a quantum chip for quantum computing. Now, at the end of this video, we can show you a little clip
Yeah.
of what that does, and you've seen the scene in Ant-Man. If you were to zoom in, and they have videos of them zooming into this chip, it looks identical to him going into the suit of the villain in Ant-Man.
Okay.
It looks identical to you go into this little square, and this little square turns into a giant separation,
yeah.
and then you zooming in into this complex looking thing, and then there's this little square, and the square gets bigger,
it just keeps
and then it
going.
just keeps going. That's
Okay.
exactly what Microsoft just created, and they put it onto a quantum level. Now, that being said, quantum physics is still not solved.
It's still a theory.
It's still a theory, but
Game
they
theory.
are that's how close they're able to get, is because what quantum physics is trying to solve is the fact that, in the same theory that Einstein couldn't solve, infinity. That is their problem.
Well, isn't
That
that the
is-
biggest number too?
That is, well, it's scientifically not a thing.
Oh, it's
So
not?
the problem is a black hole is a mass which was so, a mass
Yeah.
which had so much mass to it that the gravitational force of it was so impactful that the core of that object collapsed on itself, eventually turning into a small, dense piece, which turns into a black hole. Now it turns so dense, they say it's infinitely dense. But that's where math and physics and everything completely ruins, and that's why it's continued to be a theory forever, because
Well, you can't really test
They-
it on a
they-
black because you can't even recreate a black
you
hole.
can't. And it's
So-
to recreate a black hole, you would need a planet 500 times the size of the sun, and then you would need to shrink it down to the size of like a mile.
Well, but then, yeah. So, well, do we have anything in, not orbit, but at least in our like space area with a black hole?
Yes.
Like, do we do?
So in our orbit,
We have a local black hole.
no, and we do not have a local black hole. So we are in the Milky Way galaxy. I'm sure you've heard of the Milky Way
Mhm.
galaxy.
Like the bottom.
And it's really hard to visualize this, but I definitely give your phone.
Yes.
Because I definitely want to look this up. Look up how many are observable galaxies are there? I think there's somewhere around like 2 trillion observable galaxies.
A handful, roughly 2 trillion
Yeah.
galaxies.
So there's roughly.
with the naked eye, you can just see 3 to 4.
Look up how many stars are in the Milky Way galaxy. So there's roughly 2 trillion galaxies, and there's roughly that many million stars.
100 billion
Well-
and 400 billion stars.
100 to 400 billion stars in one galaxy. Now,
Do we
what
have like
is
8 billion people on the planet?
what is the sun?
What do you mean?
What is the sun? As a planet, what is the sun?
Isn't it like the biggest?
It's a star.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
All
yeah,
it is
yeah.
is the closest star. It's a very small star too. Compared to everything else in the sky, the sun is a very small
Oh,
star.
yeah.
And it's just the closest one to us. So if you look at the Milky Way galaxy, we have 400 billion stars. That means we have a potential of 400 billion solar systems within one galaxy, and there's over 2 trillion galaxies within one universe. And that was just within one Big Bang that happened within a space so broad where they're only able to record to a certain point. Now what
How
happens
can you even record space, though? You know?
by recording particles, neurons, particle accelerators
but-
are helping us record this data.
Isn't space expanding? Like the nothingness is
Yes.
getting bigger.
Yes, and I think this is where I think Einstein was wrong. Is I think black holes compress, just like they say it gets infinitely smaller. I don't think it's just a gravitational force that's infinitely smaller. I think it compresses matter into a state that is non-existent. It does the exact opposite of what the expansion was. It completely destroys matter to a point where it was before the Big Bang, before there was time, before there was matter, before there was any of that.
So do you think it essentially is a portal?
Well, it's essentially a portal,
What
but
do you think would happen if you were to go in space and just say NASA put you up on a ship, and they're like, "Yo, Steve Arena, okay,
Go through this black hole.
we got this black hole that we want you to go through." All right. What do you think?
I think
As even though you probably can't describe it, like as describeful as you can, what do you think would happen?
I think, as I'm approaching this black hole, whether I don't know how fast I'm moving to even
Yeah.
approaches, but let's say it feels like a substantial,
You're in space. You're on
I'm
this
what-
rocket ship.
I'm what looks like on Earth maybe 10 miles away, what looks like
Yeah.
10 miles, which visually that looks so stupid far.
Yeah.
And
An endless
But-
void of nothingness.
but realistically you can go 10 miles easily in an hour.
Yeah.
Easily you can go 10 miles an hour. I think as you approach the event horizon, everything would seem to be still. And the reason why is because
is that going into the black hole, or is that before you even get
so
to the black hole?
if let's say the black hole's like right here as a ball,
Yeah.
I would say like over here coming into the
Okay.
black hole, I'm looking at the whole black with the light being bended around it. I would say time would look absolutely still, almost like a dead stop, slowed down and distorted so much by the gravitational force. And then I would say as you get to the event horizon, that point to where even if you traveled at the speed of light, you wouldn't. If you pass that point, you can't escape.
Oh yeah,
Um,
because the gravitational pull is just
I think, depending on how large the black hole is, how long you have to where, gravitational forces are just way too much for physics to be able to capture something.
yeah.
I feel like there would be a certain amount of time within the event horizon where it would almost feel like what movies kind of depict it as is you would see everything around you looking as it's being warped. So
Okay.
if you saw a planet over there and you turned around and tried looking outside of the black hole, like as we're looking up at space,
Yeah.
if you were to look outside of the black hole and you were looking at a planet, let's say the moon, I would think the moon would basically go,
Okay, yeah.
and it would look distorted. It would basically
Essentially kind of like the black hole.
warp everything.
Yeah.
Vision, matter, time, gravity, everything is being warped and compressed to a state of non-existence.
I don't even understand that. Like, that's just.
Because the way
I don't think we're supposed to understand that
the
either.
way Einstein just says it is just infinitely dense, that's creating a mass amount of gravity, and if you were to go through it, it would just separate you into a point and it would be the end of time. Now they say the end of the time, and the reason they say the end of time is because of technically, physically, you cannot go back in time. So you can travel, let's say I wanted to travel to the Andromeda Galaxy, which is the galaxy that the Milky Way galaxy is orbiting. We're
Yeah.
both doing this, and eventually in trillions and trillions of years, we'll collide, explode, and big boom. Yeah,
And then, so,
big, giant
the whole big-
supernova.
like, isn't there a whole theory that it's just supposed to recycle? That what kills us is the Big Bang, and that's what
That
restarts.
is a huge theory nowadays popping up as
So-
a huge theory as a black hole.
Well, we'll
or,
take this out. We'll restart.
Yes, what a black hole is basically a new galaxy or new
Okay,
Big Bang.
yeah.
That's what a lot of theories are, and basically that is
So,
because all a black hole is when a star collapses to a point where it explodes, it has a supernova, and then it creates gravity so strong. So as soon as those galaxies would collide, it'd be such an immense amount of gravity that it would do exactly that, create a giant black hole, or in their eyes, create. We still don't know what a black hole is. We still don't know what.
Yeah.
We just know.
Did we ever record a black hole? Like, is there anything
Yes,
like
yes.
that picture or something
Get
that we
this.
actually have?
Get this. So Einstein in the 30s said, E equals MC squared,
Yeah.
and he's like, this is
MC
what.
Hammer.
Yeah. And he's like, this is how black holes work. And we're like, dog, what? We don't even have like cameras to take a picture of space. Though.
Yeah.
I'm talking about black holes for.
Barely got telescopes.
Yeah,
I think,
right.
right now.
Yeah, I don't. I really don't even. They could have had plenty of cameras in the 30s. I have no clue. I was born in the 2000s. Like,
2001.
02. But you know, now, like a few years ago, I don't know if it was 4 years ago, 7 years ago, 10 years ago, or how many, but recently, in recent times, within 20 years,
Yeah.
the Hubble telescope, I don't know if you ever heard of that, or the
Yeah.
James Webb telescope. These are both telescopes.
Heard of the
that-
Hubble? 'Cause that's like
The Hubble telescope, and I'm pretty sure the James Webb telescope, are in space. They're just floating in space, and they're just scanning constantly, just scanning everything, and taking pictures and all that. And I have some really cool photos that I can show you after the podcast. But that's how we know, there was an event of a Big Bang.
Yeah.
Now the Big Bang. Cool question on there is the Big Bang was not the beginning of time. The
Okay.
Big Bang was not the beginning, it was just the beginning of our universe. Before that, they do have recorded data of the expansion, what they call the expansion, before the Big Bang was when the space of the universe, it's really hard to, because I don't know all the terminology
Yeah.
for it.
And all that science lingo.
Whew, it blows over my head too. But I can understand bits and parts to
Yeah.
be like,
I like it.
blown away by
It's
it.
not a wave.
Because like we're so infinitely small,
Oh,
and that
yeah.
word infinitely is non-existent. They are trying to solve quantum physics, not realizing that we are the quantum. We are on a quantum level.
They're trying to solve physics with
You have one planet within a solar
Gotcha.
system of what we have 9 planets, I think. 9 total planets, 7 or 9 planets, something like that. Total planets in our solar
Pluto don't
system.
count no more.
And then this many solar systems in one galaxy and this many galaxies in one universe. And if that's just one event of a Big Bang and a Big Bang happened over here, then you have this observable universe and that many galaxies, that many
Do you
planets.
think there's multiple Big Bangs, or do you think it's just the one?
They theoretically there should be
Okay.
a multiverse. There should be multiple universes.
Is there a multiverse where I'm black?
I
I think
don't.
there's changes like
So-
that. I'm a woman in one.
I would love to think it like that, but the way everything I've learned,
Like the movies.
the way I would love it to be like the movies, but the way everything I've learned, listening to all these scientists, I barely listen to Neil deGrasse. I listen to more like solid set stone. They use like actual terminology. They use actual terminology where it's like flowing over my head, and sometimes I'm like, I gotta go look that up to understand.
Yeah.
Neil deGrasse, amazing scientist, and he's amazing at
Layman terms.
teaching.
Yeah.
So like he would be an amazing teacher to be, any kind of audience he'd be able to explain.
Well, 'cause
he would be able to understand.
Well, because he mostly teaches children, or at least does a lot of that
something
stuff.
like that.
So
But what I listen to is, I don't want to be able to understand. That's the biggest thing about
Yeah.
science is being comfortable
You're supposed to
with
not
not
understand.
understanding.
I don't know if you want to take time real quick and maybe take like a little break. I gotta take a pee.
Yeah,
I gotta use the bathroom.
we're gonna take a little bathroom break and
Welcome back. You guys probably noticed that stuff's different.
we're currently doing.
Trying to clean some
He's
valves.
currently cleaning some valves because
Make them look pretty.
the video died, or the camera died, and so we had to charge it. And
Perfect timing though.
Perfect timing.
Died at the cut.
It literally died when we stood up and were talking about leaving. I went to go turn off the video and the phone was completely dead.
So yeah, it's a little later in the day, but
Tad bit, not
it's
too
all
much.
good.
It's
So
only been about an hour.
I'm gonna be honest. You went on a long tangent with all that space stuff, and
Space is cool, but
Totally-
it's a way different.
totally
way different. time.
forgot.
Oh, I forgot where we left off.
Yeah, exactly. So, but
We can always.
we can
talk
always
about it,
backtrack
yeah.
into a next video.
Yep. Into
So-
it. Yep. Different time. We'll talk about it a different time.
So
But I know you were. You recently asked me to help you with some project in your home.
yeah, with getting this house and everything. We've had our problems here and there, but we have an attic, so it's not finished. It's
So it's just the
semi-finished.
boards and
Yeah, it's got the boards and it's got
insulation.
some insulation,
But
but
it's not full of insulation.
no. I mean, I think it's just like scattered around, so it's kind of half-assed.
Okay.
But we want to make that into a room. It doesn't need to be like anything perfect, but at least something for either extra storage or something usable.
Wow.
So, and I know, I mean, I don't know if we have any carpenters or anything, but that's probably something that we're gonna, I guess, video and just, you know, show.
Yeah, if you guys
along
are
the way.
definitely interested, growing up, you know, my dad taught me a lot of things about carpentry, and I know everything from framework to drywall to painting to the only thing I'm not well versed in is like plumbing and electrical work. Those are things that are outside of the.
I can hang up a TV,
I can also hang up
but
a TV.
hanging up like curtain rods.
I can hang up some curtain rods.
I mean, I can, but I'll tell you what, it's gonna take me a couple hours. Because whenever we got this house, no, dude, whenever we got
Dude,
this house,
that's the start of the video. Hanging up curtain rods.
dude, no go. Like, I'm done. But like, no, because whenever we got this house, it's funny, we bought the house and it's like, we didn't think about like all the other like odds and ends that we need. So, like, we don't even have blinds. And it's like, you kind of need blinds. Like, thinking of like, they actually do serve up somewhat of a purpose.
What kind of blinds though? Just privacy blinds to block sight in, or like blackout blinds?
The blackout ones would probably be better. Because
That's what
like,
we got at
with
our
watching
house.
movies during the day,
So perfect.
yeah.
You can
So-
always open your blackout blinds
well,
and continue with
because
coverage.
because I don't know how much they are, but I know blackout curtains for our room, they were,
Probably like $30
yeah, but like,
for one curtain.
yeah, so it was really expensive. So I don't know how much the blinds are, but yeah, but I'm trying to hang this up, and I got a couple friends over, and they just kept reminding me, because like I'm struggling, right? Okay, and I'm having issues, and one of them has the audacity to look at me and then tell me, still in the first one. Almost crashed out. So, and it's
So
like,
how
yeah,
many-
I know it's only on the first
So
one.
how many cars has he rebuilt?
Who?
The guy who was bugging about your first one.
None.
Yeah.
So,
So I mean, that's all you gotta take from that situation.
so,
And no shame on to whoever that friend was.
Yeah.
I still don't know who that is.
but no,
But-
it was just funny because like I didn't think it was gonna be that hard. Like I've done a manual swap and I've done stuff, and I don't know why it was so hard to just put that screw in that wall.
It's not what you do, man. You're good at
That's what
threading
YouTube
a
says.
bolt in a hole that was already pre-drilled for that bolt.
Oh, pilot hole. Well, so the thing is, I was with my friend,
All pilot holes.
and it was funny because they were like, oh, well, with something like that, you don't really need a pilot hole. And I'm like, okay, and then because it's drywall, you know, so
Yo, you don't really need a pilot
No,
hole for anything.
but-
Now, 2x4s, yeah.
yeah, but there were so many. It's like I got in like an inch or two, and then it felt like not even a stud. It felt like metal,
Mm.
and it was like it didn't want to go through. And then I even tried like a nail, and it just did not want to go in. So I'm like, okay, and then I went like 2 inches away from it, and it was still like an issue. So that's why the curtains, like in the kitchen and in the living room, they're on the baseboard, not
Was it on both sides?
past. Yes.
Oh, that's weird.
So I was thinking it was a stud,
So, no, it was
but I was
probably
thinking it was like some kind
just a
of
bracket.
yeah.
Just a like a beam bracket.
So-
It's basically just a flat metal sheet that you would screw
But yeah, so
on like a few pieces of wood.
that's why I have the curtain rods on the actual, like, 2x4
Yeah,
on
the
the
frame
actual.
itself.
Yeah, because I couldn't get it
On the wall.
past it.
Yep. Which
And then it's funny when you go into the living room, you see two big ass holes. I try, dude. It's hard.
So
I'm not for this homeowner stuff.
You've been to my house. Back so you have that craft room back there, and
Yeah.
then my bedroom.
Yeah, and then
there's like a wall. So that wall, behind that is the two closets. The closet to my bedroom, the closet to the craft room.
Oh, okay.
I basically want to remove that closet section, add a closet to the end of one of the rooms, and flatten out that wall to the back, and basically have a whole big room back there.
Yeah, we're like loops.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
it would
that'd be
just be
cool.
one giant room.
Oh,
There
okay.
wouldn't be no loop. It would get rid
Okay.
of all the interior walls right there, add a big
That'd be cool.
brace wall,
Yeah.
and then you could have actual wooden beams in that room, and you could have a pool table in the middle of
That'd
that
be
room,
cool.
some game TVs or shows, whatever.
Well, because
That-
we
I
have
just-
this cellar, and I know we need to do some stuff to the cellar. Like we need to pour some concrete.
Dude, we turned the cellar into the podcast channel, guys. Let us know.
It's just so. I don't know. What I would like to do is, if we get the attic set up, just have
That would be ideal.
who so and so up in the attic, so then we could take the guest room basically. So, but then also with the attic, there's going to be a lot of stuff to it. It's not just going to be putting boards up there because it's got the pull down.
Reinforcements.
Yeah, but it's also
We need
got,
a stable stair, not a pull down stair.
yeah, and also if we're going to do that, I would like to relocate it so it's not in
Yep.
the room.
Yep.
So it could be like in the kitchen.
And that's not bad at all.
No.
You just have to find a place that really
That it
works
could
for
cut
each
it out.
room.
Yeah. So that'll be fun.
Measuring.
I don't know anything about that, so it'll be an experience.
No problem. It's
So-
super simple.
I tried to level my TV and everything that's in the living room, and everything is cattywampus. So
You should be able to. Some of the TVs have like a little bracket in there, and like you tighten the clamp on that area. But if you loosen it, you
Oh,
can
really?
kind of move the bracket like this, and then tighten where it is. So you might be able to.
no, because that
flatten
stuff
out
annoys.
just the TV. Everything else,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. dog. You need to figure it out. Maybe get a level.
Yeah, well, I think the whole house is basically not level. So whenever I try and level everything, it's like the wall is slightly like off. So whenever I have it leveled, I'm like, that doesn't look leveled. So I have to have it like catty. And it's like,
So
okay,
you have
well
to
now it's
level.
catty.
You have to level it through your eye.
Yeah.
If you level it properly, it'll look cattywampus.
Exactly.
All right.
I don't know. But if you need me to help rebuild your engine or something, I can do that.
All right. I will definitely be in the future. I definitely.
So-
Well, it won't be a VQ though. It'll be that VR 38DETT that we talked about earlier.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, they make kits to swap.
Which, yeah. So the idea with this, the whole end result, hopefully, okay. I'm only gonna be doing. I might do cams, okay. But I'm thinking valves. Or no, not valves. Springs and retainers, because I want to get at least as close as I can to 9,000 RPMs, reliably. You know. So maybe some cams. I'm gonna have to get new piston rings and everything. I'm debating on taking it to the shop and getting it like resurfaced and then like sending the pistons, the crank, and the girdle to get like the clearance and all that. Or I think we should just do it ourselves and just send it. You know, because I don't think it's got because we're not going to be getting bigger
Like you said,
pistons or
the
anything.
engines are everywhere. If you really fucking blow this thing up, you buy a new one.
But
Buy a new one, build it.
but definitely want to hone it, resurface it, and all that, and gonna have to get the bearings and do all that stuff, but slowly but surely. So ideally, I would like to get another car, and then pull the engine and trans out of the Del Sol. So, and then paint it, do a wire tub, make it look all nice.
I want to swap it, wire tub, engine bay, paint, all that fun jazz. I want to turn it into a show car. Just
Yeah.
interior. I want
Dude, I
to
want to do the lights in the engine bay.
Yep. I want to do the lights, exterior. I actually have in my Amazon wish list. I have some underglow at the moment.
So, which
$180 though.
The black, it's got a little glow shift oil, or like oil adapter sandwich plate thing. So
Oil pressure.
Yeah, I'll get a little gauge. So
Race car things.
other than that, yeah, no, there's just a lot that we want to do.
There's a lot we want to talk about,
Hope you guys like
and
what we're doing. Hope you guys like the content.
Hope
So
you guys enjoy and join us back again. It's fun.
one of many,
One of many to come.
all in
Many to
one.
come.
Anything that you can possibly think that we can talk about, send our way. We'll talk about it all in one. It doesn't even need to be car related. It could be movies.
And not only is this an era for us, this could be an era for you guys, and we can turn this into a generational thing.
Didn't even touch on the video games that I wanted to play this year or
no.
anything. So,
Nothing.
but yeah, so all in one. Whatever
Sounds
you
good.
think. Anything and everything. So
Anything and everything, all in one.
we're out. Boop.
So this is the 350Z 2006 BQ35DE, replaced part inside the transmission, eventually redoing the brakes. The whole car came completely stock. I redid my interior to a point how I like it. Did it all back there. Covered the speakers. Did the A-pillars. The boot. Everything there. This is the back end of the car. A very clean condition for a 20-year-old car.
Hi. This is. You guys better be nice. Better be nice. This is my '96 Honda Del Sol. I got it as an auto, and you can tell because of the motor mount position. And I did a manual swap on it from a '97. I did the whole ECU, wired up. I mean, I've done a lot to this. The NGK spark plugs. I've got the 1320 motor mounts all around. I had a K-Tune short throw shifter, but I got rid of that. I was doing a wire tuck on this side, and then the whole front end had to be redone. It's got the AC, but it doesn't have it. It's got the cruise control, that don't work. It's pretty stock. I did a battery relocation to the trunk, and I like that because you can still jump it. I got this completely unmolested, so it was completely stock. It's got the '96 front end, which I personally like. I think that's better than the one with the fog lights. So that's the Dolphin nose. Got the one-piece headlights. I got the two-piece, but I'm just not a fan. Got the spoiler. It's got some Miata rims. And then I did the whole front end suspension. I changed the cluster. So it's like a manual. 108,000 miles. And I did all brakes and rotors, went with the slotted, and then also with this being the SI model, it's got disc on front and back instead of drums. The confetti seats with the all black interior. So 108,000 miles, everything works. Need to get gas. So it's pretty stock. I redid the taillights, which I personally like that, instead of it being orange. And then it's got an exhaust on it. But other than that, pretty stock. Okay, bye.